morning, darlings. I am fresh off the track. My name is Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. In this video, we are going to expand on what I was discussing in my walking predictions this morning. Today is November 19th. We were talking about the permission from the seated President Joe Biden of the United States. He has given permission to Ukraine and Volodymyr Zelensky to use American-made weapons over the border into Russia. My psychic prediction is on this that Putin is not going to escalate the situation. The goal for Ukraine is to hit the fresh North Korean troops that have joined forces with the Russian troops. Kursk is an issue. They are squabbling over Kursk. So we're going to take a look at what Biden's motivations are for this and also what Putin's response is going to be. In my morning predictions today, where I just give my psychic predictions that I have meditated on, I do think that the president-elect Donald J. Trump has been, he's already been on the phone with Kim Jong-un. Or at least he's been in communication with Kim Jong-un. He's actually been on the phone with Vladimir Putin. That is my prediction. Again, this is my own psychic predictions, my own psychic downloads. We're going to go to the cards and get some confirmation, because any psychic can say whatever they want. And if it doesn't come true, they, kind of disclaimer it. Let's see what the cards can confirm on this. So as always, thank you so much for being here. Please like the snot out of this video. I have a hater who is downvoting my videos, and I'm losing subscribers as a result of the algorithm. Because of that, I'm losing visibility. So if you are one of my fanatical fortune cookie followers, please help me out. I've lost about between 40 and 50 subscribers. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm an itty bitty channel. Between 40 and 50 subscribers since the election. I don't think that I had a lot of people that were shocked at my support for the election show. So let's get to business, because I had a lot to do today. I'm going to bring up that card view. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and add some interesting stuff into the comments here. That does help the algorithm as well. So we're going to start out with the Owl Tarot. And I want to see what Biden's motivation was for this. Now, there is some discrepancy, because he was not in the state, or he was not in Washington, D.C. He was in Rehoboth, I believe. He was out of state, out of the office. So what is his intention and motivation for this? I know psychically what I think it is. Ah, yes, I'm the great pretender. Ooh, he is pretending to be at work. Ooh, Justice. 4 of Cups. He is impotent at the moment. 9 of Pentacles. Gonna make all our dreams not come true for me and you. So those of you who are new to my channel, I am clairaudient. I'm clair a bunch of stuff, but clairaudient, I do hear some songs. It's something that I share in common with a lot of my students and a lot of other psychics. So we'll hear songs, we'll hear words, we'll hear poems, things like that. So this is him leveling the playing field with Donald J. Trump and with the MAGA Republicans, those dark Republicans. He is, for all intents and purposes, pretty impotent in terms of world power. This is a way that he can flex. So somebody asked me the other day if I thought that Joe Biden was the Antichrist. And I think that there may have been a possessive moment I think that maybe there was something that tried to take over poor Joe Biden in the state that he's in. And I think it did lend to some weird things that he said and some weird things that he did. He is not happy with the way things went. He's not happy with being taken off the ticket. He's not happy with the legacy that he is starting to see shape up. Now, I've said this before. I don't think that the library is going to manifest. I think they are going to put that off indefinitely for a variety of reasons until he is dead, and then we're not going to have it at all. It's going to be like a roadside library, maybe like an itty bitty library like in Scranton, Pennsylvania, because he claims he's from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Here, he knows now that his legacy is dinged and damaged. It's not the vintage car that he wanted it to be. It's really just kind of a hunk of junk that's going to rot out in the backyard. It's basically the party and his supporters, his one-time supporters, have now put him out to pasture. He is angry, angry, angry about it. So is this directed solely, his decision to incite a potential pushback from Putin and Russia? Is this to disrupt Trump's new administration? Or is it to get back at the party? Trump will be on the left, party will be on the right. This is for the party. So is it to get back at Trump? 10 of Wands, 2 of Wands. He wants he wants to kind of empty some of those coffers. He wants to have a definitive trail of where certain monies went. But 10 of Wands, 2 of Wands up here, he wants this administration to be as difficult as possible. He is not lubing up the entry at all. That's a line from This Is the End from Seth Rogen. Rogan, not Rogen. I say Rogen all the time. Is it about the party? The Fool in reverse. He's acting extremely recklessly because he knows in his heart of hearts that he has now been put out to pasture, and not put out to pasture in a good way like you would with a prize bull or a trifecta winning racehorse. They're shoving him into the back room. So is it about both? Yes, it's about both. He is burning every bridge that he possibly can. So how is Putin going to respond to this? How is Putin going to respond to this? What was Putin's initial response to this? What was his initial response to this? King of Cups, 3 of Wands, Queen of Cups, 7 of Wands. Energy up top, 5 of Wands, Page of Wands. He is going to hold back on this, guys. I'm telling you, he's not going to present. And this isn't to say that he's not going to give some pushback. He's going to give some pushback. It's just not going to be a lot. This is towing the line right here. This 5 of Wands is kind of treading water in place. We're not really going to escalate. We're not going to move forward. We're holding off on all ideas. Right now, Putin is happy with where he is, and he's happy to negotiate with this Queen of Wands. Over here, King of Swords, he knows that he has an upper hand at this point. The situation, it doesn't matter that Ukraine has these missiles and they could send them into that area. The response, the equity of firepower is just not there. It's going to go into a different direction should Ukraine opt to do that. So what is Putin's plan? What is Putin's plan if they do pop off? What is his plan if they do, shock and awe. They rain fire down on the Russian and North Korean troops. What is Putin's plan? What is his plan? Nine of Wands. We're going to hold the line. That is holding the line, guys. Two of Swords, possibly pulling back a little bit and equalizing. Two of Swords is equalizing. Knight of Wands, holding it back. This can also be going forth recklessly. But he's not a reckless. Oh, well, that Seven of Pentacles says something different. Queen of Swords. I think we get a very loud statement. I think we are, we don't go into full-scale tit for tat, but I do think that he fires off a little bit and lets them know where he's coming from. The Five of Cups, he's going, so he's going to take like an upper hand on this and be like, I can't understand why you people are doing this. This is very, very stupid. We are ruining our own land. Stop doing that. So I think the decisions, he will criticize the decisions of Zelensky and the Ukrainian forces. I think he will criticize that because we are at an impasse in terms of political situation. So I think that's going to, so, you know, just to clarify prediction. So I think if Zelensky starts firing off some of those long-range missiles, the U.S. missiles, I think that Putin will hold the line. I think he will stay there. I think he will retaliate a little bit. I don't think he's going to pull back. I said this morning, I think he may, you know, just make some adjustments just to kind of appease so that we don't get that firepower. But I think that he will retaliate with enough force that there's an indication of, you know, that you don't want to do this. So I do think that Putin and Donald Trump got on the phone. I think there was a conversation. I think he said, get me Vladimir on the phone right now. I don't care what time it is in Moscow. Get him on the phone. It's going to be huge. It's going to be great. I want to talk to him. So what was Trump's message along with that hottie Magadi, Secretary of Defense to be, Pete Hegseth? So what was Trump's message to Putin? I'm going to storytell here, guys. Chariot, don't do it. Don't do it, Putin, because it's going to be the worst thing you're ever going to do. It's not going to be a good idea. Don't do this, man. I'm going to stop doing the Trump voice. So this will be a mistake that will set things backwards, set things not in a good course. I'm going to let you know everything that's going on. Don't feel that this is an injustice yet. This is not an injustice. Why is it not an injustice? We'll clarify over here. Because this administration knows not what they do. I know what they're doing. I am clear on this. I know that this was an attempt at escalation that is not okay. And over here, we're going to make this all better. We're going to negotiate this. We're going to make it all better. Worthy adversary. So that is the message from him. What is the message back from Putin? What was Putin's response? Hold the line. Hold the line and wait for negotiation. Hopeful that the negotiations to be will break up this impasse, but hold the line. We're going to hold the line right here. We have fives in reverse. These fives, remember, these are times of chaos, but it's chaos that hasn't been resolved and it's stabilized for right now. So it's kind of stable chaos, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. But under the surface, I think Putin is very hopeful that he's going to get all of his ends met without too many losses. What's Kim Jong-un think about this? Kim Jong-un think about this? Oh boy. Kim Jong-un is happiest with something to do. He's got something to do. He does not necessarily want to see this resolved, because I do think that he is trying to prove himself as a good partner with Putin. I think this is an opportunity for him to align himself with a major, major superpower and have a little bit of a brotherhood going on there. So we know that Xi Jinping and Putin have very, very many things in common. Their lives are very common. They have some common situations in there, and they are admittedly good friends, Xi Jinping and Putin. So I think that Kim Jong-un would like to be, invited to the sleepover. He'd like to be, invited to get in the car and drive around town, go to the party at the Moon Tower. So he's anxious for that. He's anxious for that recognition and credibility as a world decisive leader with, united powers with other players in the world. Does he ultimately get that? I don't think so. I don't think that his country has enough to offer to really be an asset to Putin's vision. It's like bringing on like a whole football team and they have like one really great kicker and that's it. But you got all these other, all these other people that you have to deal with. So I think they have like a little bit that Putin is interested in, but not a whole lot. So is he anxious about? I think he's someone who is kind of chomping at the bit to peace through strength, or strength through strength is really more of Kim Jong-un's focus there. Is that a good thing? I think he is kind of a catalyst friendly associate. If Putin was less calculating and less determined in his head, he could potentially fall into getting whipped up into a fury. This is like, those couples that you have where like, one of the, one part of the couple is like a real ishster and kind of whips the other one up whenever something goes on. So potentially that could happen. Now, since we're looking at a worldview, what does Trump think of what Biden just did with these permissions to set off firecrackers over in Russia? I'm going to move past this. I'm going to shut the fire down. Shutting the fire down. I'm going to disarm everybody. I'm not happy about it. This isn't a path to correction. So problem solving, sales, business management, we cannot do it in fury. We cannot do it enraged. We have to look at the situation with clear eyes and less emotion. It's so easy for other countries to get very, very emotional about what's going on. You really do need to have someone come in with fresh eyes. It's one of the reasons I think that Mike Huckabee being appointed to the ambassador of Israel is so interesting, because he is a fundamental Christian. So he's not Jewish. He is not Muslim. He is something different. So he can look at the situation with fresh eyes, if you will. I love the term fresh eyes. So this business with Trump is trying to circle these backward. Circle back, not Jen Psaki. We're going to do a reading on her this week because, oh, poor Jen Psaki. But we're trying to diffuse the situation, remove the emotion from it, stop the inspired fighting, the inspired attacks, the legacy of right. Like we must, this whole like crusades kind of thinking. We have to stop that. So is Trump successful at taking the crusaderness out of the Ukrainian forces or the Russian forces? Absolutely not. No, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see faith and nationality disappear. Won't happen. But trying to remove that and be more logical about the discussions and the negotiations and the concessions and cooperation that will happen. That's really at the front of this. He's just going to say, look, we've got to get to an end result. We have to come to a conclusion today, and we're going to sit down. And we're not going to walk out of this room until we're there. We'll have water, we'll have bagels, we'll have a good time. We're all at Mar-a-Lago. We're having a great time. Which is interesting because, this meeting is, I think, going to take place in person. I think this is one of the first things that we're going to see Donald J. Trump do. I think he's going to call an in-person meeting, which is going to be very curious because that does pose such a security risk. But I think that's where we get this fool in reverse. I think you need to be in the room with someone. You need to soak up that energy. You need to look them in the eye. You need to see whether they're sweating and there's no filter on there. I think you need to see that. And I think Trump is very keen on that. He is the disruptor here. He is the one who is going to craft this peace deal. He is the one who is going to parcel out things. How's Putin going to feel about Trump saying, this is the negotiation, this is the peace deal that I came up with? Putin, he's not going to like it, but he's going to understand it. He wants the things to stop. He wants to stop moving forward. He wants to just establish. So, and I said that, I don't know if I said it today or yesterday, it's the buffer zone that he's really in right now. He wants that buffer zone. And that's really negotiable for him. So not Kursk so much, but the buffer zone for him. There's like a band of land that he is trying to preserve. So it'll be a buffer zone. So is this the most dangerous 2 months of living history? Like, is this the most dangerous 2 months? Are we at the precipice, on the doorstep of World War III? Are we there? Are we there, people? Let me know what you think. Next 2 months. Next 2 months. What do we have to look forward to for the rest of November? 1, 2, 3. Everyone's going to be holding their ground. They are going to be squabbling. They are not willing to compromise at this point. What about December, Knight of Wands? We're going to see some bruised feelings, but I do think that there's going to be a break for the holidays. I think they are all going to agree, Hanukkah, Christmas, all that jazz. I think they're going to agree that we have to kind of stand down. War can happen anytime. Let's stand down. So January, what happens in January? In January, it looks like we try to restart. I do think we're going to have some bruised feelings on the side of Ukraine. I think Ukraine is going to be very grumbly about what they are getting and very unhappy about it and how things are going. February. And let's do end of January. End of January. End of January. Four of Cups. Three of Swords. We're healing, and new beginnings. This is good. What is Trump doing at that point? Nobody's a winner here. We can all stand alone, but let's look at what we have. Happy Squirrel. He's going to use the correction of the United States as an example. You know, we are going to try and prop up the economy. This high tide will raise ships for all. Do you want to come along with us? What's Zelensky's issue going to be? Zelensky's issue is going to be, we did not get what we wanted, and I still want to destroy that. King of Wands is a destroyer. He is going to hold a grudge on Russia forever. What else does he have to say? Ace of Pentacles. He's going to cry that the war has bankrupted them, despite getting billions and billions and I think trillions of dollars now. He's going to say that. So what do we respond with? Well, you're going to have to figure that out. Like, that's really what they're going to say. You're going to have to figure that out. Volodymyr. So let's clean up the real estate. Are we going to have World War III? Energy today. What's going on today? Everything that's happening right this minute. It is 10:02 a.m., November 19th, 2024. Are we in the middle of, well, here we'll use all of the cards. No sense in not using all of the cards. We have 78 in hand. Actually, this deck is 80 because we've got the Happy Squirrel and the Sand Squirrel. Are we in World War III at the moment? Big reveal. I wish I had a drummer to play a drum roll. Six of Pentacles. We are still in that negotiation soft spot. Will we be in World War III in December? Two cards. Page of Cups. Four of Swords in reverse. We are going to logically start thinking about it. Remember, Page of Cups is we got the job. We're starting. It's our first day of work. It's a whole new world. So I think by December, we're going to see that there's more negotiations happening. Last question, bonus question. Pete Hegseth, is he involved yet? Is he involved with Putin and Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, all those folks? Pooty, Soho. Not that he's part of Soho House. That's a song called Ruby Soho. New punk rock song. So from like the 90s, not brand new. So Pete Hegseth, is he involved? Is he involved? Six of Pentacles. Four of Swords. Page of Cups in reverse. Five of Swords. His declaration is, you know, we will defend and determine what needs to be done according to your actions. If you are fair with us, we will be fair with you. If you are fair and reasonable with your enemy, we will be fair and reasonable with you. Just like Superman, he is going to fight the fight for the right. So the main goal of our United States administration is to seek peace on this. We want to shut it down, negotiate, and compromise on those lands that are in dispute. So that is going to be the main goal. Will that be accomplished? I think Zelensky is the holdup on this, guys. I don't think it's Putin as much as it's Zelensky. I think Putin is pretty happy with how far his troops got in and declaring that those are Russian lands for Russia. You know, I think they're going to have to negotiate that, and I think there'll be civilian exchange. You know, if you don't want to live there, you can skip on over and go live in the Ukraine, in that breadbasket of Europe. But that, I think, is going to be it for right now, because I have a couple other videos I want to do. So I'm going to do a video on Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff, her husband. There's some some talk that they're not doing well. So going to take a look at that, and hopefully I'll get these all put up by the end of the day. So I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you all in the future. Thanks so much. Bye.